Got a lot of reverse cards on this deck. Interesting. Um, but let's go ahead and start your spread here. We have on the bottom of the deck the Five of Bats. And this can be about somebody stealing your candy. Um, whatever that means for you. But and it depends which one of these individuals you relate with, right? This person here dressed up like a burglar has stolen this kid's trick-or-treat candy. The clown right here is the friend of the little cat trick-or-treater who's comforting the child. The bats are observing, the moon's even got a flat expression, and the cat looks pissed. This giant figure looming in the foreground here is that energy of thievery. And, but from the cat's perspective, it's about disappointment, right? Disappointment. In some kind of loss. But there's also a focus on the loss, too, from the part of the trick-or-treater, the kid in the cat suit. Not seeing the support that there is, right? Not seeing the comfort that is around there. So this can be about, and we'll catch more of this as we dive into the reading, but whether you identify with the person who's stealing the trick-or-treat candy, the friend that's pissed, the comforting support person, or the person who's been stolen from, time will tell. And again, this is a general reading, so you have to take it as it resonates for you. Okay? Now, the first card we have here is the Devil in the reverse. In the upright, this can be about codependence, about addiction, about any type of unhealthy relationship we have with something material where we allow it too much control over our life. You'll notice that the collars on these little individuals here, they can be slipped off their heads at any moment in time and they can run for safety. So we have to be careful that sometimes we choose to do things that put us in this bondage situation. And we need to examine our own role in that. Now, if it's an actual addiction, like to drugs or alcohol, now that's something we may need help getting clean from or getting sober. In the reverse, though, this is about letting those addictions go, breaking off that codependent relationship, getting mastery over something that has been controlling you. Okay? Now here we have the Ace of Bats. And the Ace of Bats is in the reverse position in this particular reading. In the beginning, this can be about a new idea. It can be about truth coming in, the start of something intellectually interesting. In the reverse, it could be about deception or dishonesty, not getting to the truth of the matter, not beginning some sort of intellectual jump or a delay in getting that information that you need, the truth coming in. This is the Queen of Ghosts. She's in part the basis of your recent past or what is currently happening that will be moving into your past. Queen of Ghosts in the reverse. And this Queen of Ghosts is the suit of water. So we're thinking about a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces person, although it doesn't even have to be a female, but it's somebody who operates in that energy. In the upright, this is a loving wife and mother type. This is somebody who has affection for you, cares about you, helps to nurture you emotionally, that sort of thing. Excuse me. In the reverse, however, this is somebody who's none of those things, right? This is somebody that's maybe cold to you or somebody who is lacking compassion or empathy. Maybe somebody who's doing you wrong if this is your partner in relationship, business or otherwise. So there's some kind of truth that's delayed coming in that hasn't. There's somebody under the surface of things who may be deceiving you. But this could be about, a codependent situation. So if you're experiencing codependence, it could be that this person's could be headed out the door soon. Now, interesting, in your present tense, we have this Three of Cups in the reverse, Three of Ghosts in the reverse. In the upright, it's celebration, it's happiness, it's good times. In the reverse, it's a third-party situation. Or it could be gossipy, bitchy people at the water cooler at work talking shit about you. We don't know. But given that you may not have this information just yet, but it's coming out soon, Air is not a slow-moving suit, generally speaking. So when this turns upright, you're going to have some information or knowledge about something. And that could be what it is. It's going to break you from this bond of codependence, from an addiction to a person. We can have sex or love addiction, not just chemical addiction, of course. Things like that. There is, here we see the 10 of Ghosts. Now, this is about happy spirituality, joyful life, success, happy family life, and so on. And this is kind of what your cards are spinning or hinging around. So it is the case that you have been in a situation where you have felt very happy. You haven't been feeling necessarily codependence. You've been feeling and thinking like this is a great family life, good relationship, and so on. But this truth that's coming in for you may very well tell you about some kind of a third-party affair or situation. It could even be something like lipstick on the collar that's kind of going to chip away at some of that. And then we find disappointment as well. 5 of Ghosts is very similar to the 5 of Bats. This is about somebody who sees the spilled pail of water. It's kind of like the crying over spilt milk card. Right? This person's feeling a loss and they're focused on that. Now, over time, this pumpkin person may be able to shift focus and see that there's a bucket over here that's upright. I like to assume that there's water in it. I can't really tell from the perspective of the pail. But again, there are comforters in the background here. They're saying, oh man, right? That really sucks. So that can chip away into your happy home life and so on, for sure. Now, the 7 of Imps here is a card of moving on, right? Passion put into action. They are moving on, even though they're not sure if that's a great house on the hill, if it's going to be a scary, spooky, haunted house up on the hill. Some of them seem very calm and okay with it. And this person here in the middle kind of looks questioning and interested. Even the moon's smiling down in beneficence, right? But being in the reverse, this could be about having emotional discomfort as you have to move on from this toxic situation. The Devil in the reverse is not the absence of addiction or anything. It's about overcoming it. Being able to overcome a codependent situation or a toxic relationship because you realize there's some kind of an affair going on. Please remember that this reading will not apply for everyone. And either the inability to move on in the 7 of Imps card, or you're not going to feel as content and comfortable in moving away from the situation, moving on as you could feel. It's up to you. You take it as it resonates. This does feel like a relationship reading. I could be reading, and that's because the Ghost, the Suit of Cups, is about emotions and things like that. Now, for some of you, it could be that you've been in this really shitty work environment, and that has something to do with this. But with all the ghosts that are coming in, a lot of times that's going to tell me that that's some sort of a romantic relationship. Now, we have here the 8 of Pumpkins. This is hard work and industry, success, putting your skills and abilities. This is about a lack of work. So for some of you, if you're thinking that this may be pertaining to a business reading, it could be that there's a toxic situation, right? You're having issues with your boss or your supervisor, who is not fair, is not loving or kindly inclined to you. She might have a very lowly opinion of you. There could be disappointment in these different areas. But then we see the Emperor as well. And this Emperor here, he's the king of manifestation. He's essentially all 4 suits, the air, water, fire, and earth suits, in the masculine form. It doesn't have to be a literal male, by the way. But somebody who's in that energy, who is sort of at the pinnacle of each of those suits. He's got all of those suits mastered. He has mastery over his emotions, but yet he's not disconnected from them. He can think calmly, coolly, and rationally. He can have an idea for something he feels passionate about, and he can do the work, the mundane little jots and tittles it takes to make that happen. In the reverse position, though, this is about somebody who's struggling with their empire. struggling to get things off the ground, struggling to make it work. And this is kind of an unemployment card or a lack of industry. Could be stagnation, lack of joy at your job, not wanting to move on, feeling stuck from moving on, right? All of this could be because of this negative situation. Now, if this is a boss, there's some kind of information that's delayed coming in, but when it does come in, it's going to affect you in a very disappointment kind of energy. It's going to make you feel less industrious or less capable of industry. It's going to keep you feeling kind of, I want to say stuck or not feeling content in this situation. So, yeah, let's pull some, very definitely in this energy here. So I did want to circle back to it, and here's why. As I'm looking at this, I'm thinking that somebody else is stealing your candy. Someone's being deceitful, dishonest, shitty, whatever. In fact, this Ace of Bats might not be about truth that's not coming in. It could be about active lies. I'm thinking this person here, that's this Queen of Ghosts energy, lying. Lying. If you have somebody in your family, maybe who's been struggling with addiction, they've been telling you all the things that you want to hear. It could be that they're lying to you about having gotten clean. It could be just simply about, codependent issues. Generally speaking, maybe there's something about your work life that sparks up codependence issues from your past that are dragging them forward into your present tense, so that you're struggling really to find a great deal of success or motivation in what you're doing now. Let me pull an oracle card for you. They are cleansing waters. Purification activates vibrant life force. To achieve fulfillment, purify yourself and your surroundings. Space clear your environment. Clear out clutter. In order to release old beliefs, stagnant energies, and auric grunge that you may have picked up, it's necessary to cleanse and purify yourself in your home. Let go of the old, discarded, and unused. Eat lightly, drink fresh water, and simplify your life. Shower or bathe with the intention that all that is not needed is washing away. Let me repeat that sentence because I screwed it up. Shower or bathe with the intention that all that is not needed is washing away. When you purify yourself, you become a clearer channel for light and thus know what direction is best for your life. Also, your sparkling light can then help heal and support many. The sacred traveler wants you to know the traveler periodically takes time from the journey to seek holy waters for purification and renewal. Standing under the mystical cleansing waterfall, the voyager knows her energy field is being cleansed, past life limitations are washing away, and limiting beliefs are dissolving. Sometimes the traveler purifies in a stream or a mountain lake or next to ocean waves, but also by simply standing in the rain or drinking refreshing waters. In each moment, there is the knowing that the water is clearing out what is stagnant and replacing it with shimmering, sparkling energy. Find as many ways as possible to use water as a cleansing force in your life, all with the intent of purifying your life so greater energy can emerge. Yes, very much so. Detoxifying your life, which is part of this devil reversed messaging, right? Detoxifying your life so that you can deal with what's going on, that you can reconnect with your joy. Clearing out the people, too, that may not be helpful in your life or healthy for you in your life, people that keep you stuck. And that's a lot of what this reading is about. Someone or some persons in your life creating havoc and distress. And sometimes we really just need to remind ourselves that we don't deserve that from other people. And if there are people who are toxic to us, even if they're biological relatives, we may need to revisit whether or not we need to limit interactions with them so that we can be at peace in our own lives and our own minds.